Hey, True Believers, Englentine here, and welcome to round one of the fifth fight in Comic Book Fight Night, formerly Comic Book Thunderdome over at I Love Comics. This time around, we've got Dalton the Authenticator fighting King Billy over who they would cast as Green Lantern. So, kick back, relax, and let's get this party started. I asked you two, Dalton, King Billy. We're going to start with you, King, because I rolled a dice and you won.
Okay.
Who would you cast as Hal Jordan?
I thought about it for a little bit because, a lot of people talk about Nathan Fallon mainly because he voiced the character. And I think a couple of the animated films as well as, did he do the TV show as well? Because I can't remember if he did.
That's up to you, man.
I can't remember.
No, he didn't.
Okay, I know he voiced the character in animated film, which people really loved, but I thought about it for a bit, but I also thought that Patrick Wilson would be kind of interesting, given that like the movies being inspired off of like Man of Steel being set in that same universe. Patrick Wilson has history working for Zack Snyder with as Owlman in the Watchmen movies.
Okay, alrighty. Dalton, who did you choose?
I chose Nathan Fillion, and I chose Nathan Fillion because in addition to being the straight-laced classical hero that he is always depicted as, Hal Jordan is typically, and a lot of people forget this, an artist. And when it comes to quirky badassery and quasi-intellectualism, you can't go wrong with Nathan Fillion. I mean, when it comes to the quirky badassery, you've got Firefly, you've got Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog. When it comes to the intellectualism, you've got, and the artistry, you've got Castle, and even to a certain extent, also Firefly, because Firefly is just all the things.
Okay. So I actually think Patrick Wilson's a good choice because I think he can definitely play off Hal Jordan's more haunted and his darker side, since Hal Jordan, one of his defining character traits is that he has to overcome his fear of after his dad was killed in a crash while flying a plane. Okay.
Dalton, are you there?
To give him room to make his case if he
wants.
Well,
I continue making my case, and this is
yeah, you've got 5 minutes. If Dalton doesn't want to fight against you, it's up to him.
Okay. Well, see, the case is that I think I know what people think of Hal Jordan as being, like the kick-ass, wisecracking, also partly intellectual, as well as a fun character. But I feel like there's also a darker side to the character, which some of my favorite Green Lantern stories, and including the animated film, the DC The New Frontier, they basically kind of show off as more him being a little more serious and not just a character who's making jokes or with the humor, and kind of being almost like the more comical character that people are kind of familiar with.
All right.
Yeah, but okay. Here's the thing about Patrick Wilson. I don't think he has the defining role of screen presence, and when it comes to superheroes, screen presence is everything.
Well, define screen presence. I'm kind of curious.
What'd you say? Sorry,
define screen presence.
Just doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the ability to make you immediately snap and look at him when he walks in a scene. Like, for one of the examples that I would give is he played Rull in the Andrew Lloyd Webber, Joel Schumacher Phantom of the Opera movie. He is in that movie is the most bland, forgettable, vacant motherfucker. And granted, that's probably because Andrew Lloyd Webber kind of hates Rull and prefers the Phantom, as do I. But
also
he hasn't improved in all of the time since that movie came out, which was 2003. He's always in bit roles. He's always in smaller parts because he doesn't have the ability to command the screen. In contrast, Nathan Fillion made his mark in smaller roles like that, but even in those scenarios, he can make you snap to attention and pay attention. And I guarantee you that when Nathan Fillion is in a thing, no matter what caliber of actor he's put up against, he will be the thing that you are cracking up the most at. He will be the thing that has the dramatic chops. He will be the thing you remember in anything he's in. Patrick Wilson is so forgettable that I just mentioned him in Phantom of the Opera and I've already forgotten.
Okay, I actually have to disagree. I mean, did you see The Conjuring? I thought he did a great job in his role in The Conjuring.
I saw The Conjuring, but I would put most of the quality of The Conjuring up to James Wan, the guy who's going to be doing Aquaman, more so than any of the actors, because it seems to be a consistent thread relating to James Wan more so than the actors involved, because a lot of the actors went on to do other things, and it was right back to zero.
Wow. Okay, right back to zero. Wow,
Sheer unadulterated apathy.
Okay, well, because I also I thought he did a good job in Watchmen as well.
Yeah, but he played a very grim, dark character in that, and
yeah,
this is one thing I wanted to ding you on, is the DC universe is, in my opinion, rather rightly moving away from the grim, dark Nolan meets Snyder aesthetic. They're finally getting that it's not about, quote, grounded realism, unquote, make something dark. You can do dark and also make it over the top.
Well, I also
I
also wasn't just talking about like it just being dark. I just thought he can also play the serious character when push comes to shove. Like, I think Hal Jordan is not just a comic.
Are you insinuating Nathan Fillion can't do drama? Because I can almost guarantee you there are a couple episodes of Castle where like people die and bombs explode and he weeps, and also Nathan Fillion famously has done Shakespeare before, and while he was playing sort of the comedic fault guy in that, he still managed to carry
and time. Okay, how about you, Frugal? We'll start with you.
Well, it was you know what? This was a rough start, I think, for both of them. King started by actually supporting Dalton's side with Nathan Fillion, but then he did mention some of the darker side of the character and how Patrick Wilson might be a good fit, not being a humorous kind of character, and he backed up one of the movies with him being good. But again, he did, as I said, support Dalton's case. Now, Dalton stars with one character, but a knock on Dalton is he mentioned that Hal Jordan was an artist, and Hal Jordan was not an artist. That was Kyle Reiner. Oops, yeah, there. But hey, if you're trying to pull off a lie there, more power to you. Good try to get in that one box.
You got busted on it, though.
Yeah.
Corrupt.
But with that said, he did back up the chops of his actor very well. And he made a lot of points where maybe Patrick would be lacking for his screen presence as Hal Jordan.
All righty, what do you think, Corrupt?
What's amazing is that Frugal kind of took a lot of my points.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Just reiterate. Okay, I'll go if you're okay. If you're just going. So what you're saying is you would give to King Billy or to Dalton as well, right?
Yeah, because Frugal took a lot of my points. Like I like King Billy did make a really good argument, but the grim dark shit kind of sold me.
Okay, so point goes to Dalton this round. I'm gonna make some points that I found out, and because I want to give King Billy a little bit of advice, because Dalton, you've been around a little bit, so I'm gonna help out King Billy. There are a couple of times when you're doing your argument that you would say one thing and then challenge him to challenge you. Like you would say, well, I thought that was good. And then you would go silent. And that invited him in, rebut what you just said. And I would not do that.
I think, if you don't mind my suggestion is, I think Billy is kind of under the impression that you kind of have to be like more restrained.
Oh, so, no, that's another thing. If you see a weakness in the argument, jump on it. You don't have to wait for them to stop. Just jump right into it.
I don't know. I didn't want. Well, you also want to talk over people because that would kind of.
I understand that part. This is actually something that goes all the way back to the beginning, because Frugal and Comics Division were the first fighters, and they did the same thing. All righty. So first point, is going to go to Dalton. So there you go, gang. What do you think? Patrick Wilson, Nathan Fillion, who would you choose? Who do you think made the better argument for their choice? Let us know if we made the right decision in the comments below, as well as your choice for best casting of the Green Lantern. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. Also, don't forget to click like and share. Get word out about this channel. And if you haven't done it already, subscribe and make sure that your notifications are on all and you ring that bell. Don't want to miss anything. Cool things happen around these parts. Now, if you don't mind helping out the channel, going over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. Or you could commission a video over at Ko-Fi just by going on over and picking a topic, picking a subject, and we'll get that video out to you ASAP. Thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.